Yeah, so what's this story? I need to hear it.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. Hang on. Let me put actually, can you hear me okay? Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay, so last night, it was obviously Saturday night.
Yep.
I went to the bar with my friend, and it's a local bar. So, and I grew up in a pretty small town, so a lot of the people who hang out there are people who like grew up in our area. Like you kind of all know each other type shit.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I show up
Someday I'm going to be
and
a
I'm
hero
with my
like you.
2 girlfriends,
Yeah.
and like there's this guy who like comes up to us and is talking to us, and he's like looks familiar to me. Like I know I went to school with him, but I couldn't remember his name or anything.
Yeah.
So then I like asked him like, "What's your name again?" And then like he was like, "But I remember you. You're Annie." And I was like, "Yeah."
Good
And,
memory. Good memory.
I felt bad because like I didn't remember him, but he remembered me. I was like, that's kind of awkward, whatever. And then we were all just kind of like chatting or whatever. And I was like, what are you up to these days? Like, what do you do for work and where do you live and stuff? Normal conversation, right?
Yep.
And I was like, he's like, oh, I actually moved to New York, and like I do this for work and whatever. And then I noticed he had a wedding band on.
Yeah.
And I like commented on it, and I was like, and I see you're married, like, congratulations, how's that? How did you meet your wife? Whatever. Like, it was a very friendly conversation. But when I like said that, I feel like he like looked at his finger and had like kind of like an oh shit moment. Like that was like
He's trying to get
there
some
was definitely,
strange.
like a weird pause. And whatever, he started telling me about his wife and his daughter and how like they have a kid together and they've been together for 8 years
Yep.
and whatever.
Yep.
And we were talking for like 10 minutes and it was a totally like friendly conversation.
Yep.
I was not being flirty like at all. And I didn't think he was being flirty either. Like I felt like we were just being friendly to each other.
Yeah, you're just being like just normal, like old, like, you know, you went to the same school, you're catching up, that sort of vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I went to the bathroom and my other friend like stayed at the table with like him because he was sitting at our table. And then the third friend had left at some point, so it was just the 3 of us for a while, and then I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I came back from the bathroom and he was gone. And my friend's like, oh my god, you will not believe what he just told me. And I was like, what did he tell you? And she was like, he said that he wants to fuck you.
What?
And that him and his wife have like some sort of agreement. And I was like, what the fuck? And I like was so like, ew, like I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, were
That's
they
so weird.
swingers? Or they obviously were like polyamorous or something like that.
Yeah. But his wife like wasn't there. So obviously I'm like, like, I don't know about that, you know? Especially after like the way that he like looked at his ring, like, oh shit, I forgot to take it off when he was talking to me. It just felt very like slimy.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well hopefully I don't have to talk to him the rest of the night. Like I'll just like avoid him and it'll be fine. Like I'm not interested. I'm not gonna show interest. Like I wasn't attracted to him, and I never would do that anyway.
Yeah.
And so like whatever. I was like, it'll be fine. I just won't talk to him. And I left. I like went to go. It's when I FaceTimed you. I like walked away from the building for a little bit, just like breathe and like calm down.
And then he rushed out. Annie, come back.
No. And the fire department was there because this building, like 2 doors down, was like actually on fire.
What the fuck?
It's the craziest thing. So I like walked away for a minute, and then I came back, and like a couple hours passed, and I don't like run into him. I don't even see him. Like, I thought he left, or maybe I just like wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting at a table with me and a different friend. Like, that original friend had left.
Yeah.
And he walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second, like alone?" And I was like, "Oh God."
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh my God." So then, like, we walked away, and like he right off the bat is like, "So I know Jessica told you."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, wow, this is like real." Like, a part of me, I think, was like, "Okay, well, maybe she's just fucking with me."
Yeah, yeah,
I
like,
don't
because
know.
friends do that. Friends do that.
Yeah, yeah. And I like was like, I had to like pause. I was like, I have no idea what to say. And I was like, "Yeah, she did tell me. So like, what's the deal? Like, with you and your wife?" And also, like, we're in California, and he's like obviously lives in New York.
Yeah.
And so I'm like I know I'm not gonna do this, but I like wanted like details because I was so curious.
All right.
And he told me that
Does he not look
when
special?
he's
My late
traveling,
husband and I
like his
always
wife and him
wanted
have like a
you.
no strings attached
You should
agreement
join
that they
our
can
family.
do whatever like he wants.
Forever.
Whatever he wants or whatever they want.
Here?
I don't remember if they said they or he, but he was like, "And I just like to have fun."
Right.
And I was like so taken aback. I was like, first off, I never like have interactions like this with people in general. Like you do. I
Yeah.
think you're very used to interactions like this. Like, that doesn't really happen.
Yeah, that's happened to me quite a few times bartending. Like, people will ask you to, like, "Oh, so like this is my wife." Like, for instance, there was these two, I thought they were lesbians, but they came into the bar and they were like sitting down and I was like serving them drinks, and like I'm not flirting with them, but like when I'm bartending I have that vibe, you know what I mean? Like, I got that vibe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were like, "Oh, so we're staying at this hotel tonight. It would be great if you came over." I was like, what? I thought you guys were fucking lesbians, but okay." And then I did not go to the hotel
Yeah.
because I just wanted to go home. But yeah, I do have that happen to me quite often.
So then, hang on. Okay. So I like kind of changed the conversation slightly just to think about how I wanted to like word what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I was like, so like, did we have like classes together in school? Like, you remember me really well. Like, how do you remember me so well or whatever?
Yeah.
And he was like, "I don't know if we had classes together. Like, I don't really remember that, but I had this massive crush on you when I was 15. And like, I really wanted to be with you then." That's what he said. And I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Do you reckon there was a chance that was bullshit?
I didn't think it was in the moment, but afterwards when I told my friends, they were like, "He probably just said that because it was like, obviously you went to school together and it's another way to like get in."
Yeah, yeah.
But in high school, like, I was really hot and I was a cheerleader, and
Yeah.
he was very not hot. He was like thicker and a football player, so I could totally see it like playing out that way.
Yeah. So it could have been. It's plausible. It's plausible.
Yeah. It's not like he was like a 10 and I was like a 2, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was just always dreaming about you." You know?
Oh
It's
god, if I
awful.
hear that shit, I'm like, shut up. No, you weren't, you cunt. You were dreaming about
and then-
any fucking chick that would spread her legs for you. Just shut the fuck up. You don't have to play that game.
So I was like, that honestly like threw me off even more. I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, because you played football, right? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, because I had dated 2 football players in high school. And I like named them, and he was like, yeah, I was really close with them. And I like, he wasn't like best friends with them, but I was like, okay, that's like why I kind of remember. You were friends with literally both my exes.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's even weirder. And then, like, he just, like, kept kind of going, and I was like, like, I'm flattered, like, I appreciate it, but, like, I'm just not interested. And he was like, what? You don't like to ever have, like, fun?
Oh, you rejecting me? What? You don't like fun?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
was like, no, this is not my thing. Like, I really, like, need commitment, and I'm very, like, emotional about it, and, like, I'm just not interested or whatever. And he was like, okay, well, all right, it was good talking to you.
That's it. He doesn't care about you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and then later, he, like, came back to our table.
Then
and
later,
I
he
had
came
put- yeah.
by
I had
himself.
put on a jacket at that point, and it was, like, this camo jacket. And, he, like, had said something. Like, one of my friends was making fun of my jacket, and, he was like, yeah, it looks like a Walmart special. And I was like, oh my god.
Why is he being so
I
rude?
meant it funny, but I was like, oh my god, shut up. And the whole thing was really weird.
Yeah, he was being so
Anyway,
rude to you, man.
I might run into him tonight, because I'm going to the same place.
And then you're
he's
taking him
here
up on
for a
the
week.
offer.
Yeah, probably. But it was a really interesting experience,
Yeah, that does sound quite interesting.
and I thought you would enjoy that story.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that into a clip and then post it on YouTube if you don't mind, because that's fucking funny,
Yeah.
man.
Do it.
So did you actually remember him from high school?
Well, he looked familiar to me, and I didn't know exactly where from. And then
Do you think he 100% actually really went to the same high school
Yes.
as you? Yeah.
Oh, he definitely did, because my friends went to the same high school as me. And they said he did, and, like, once we talked about his name and what he did, I did remember him.
Alrighty then.
We just, like, never...
Interacted
we just
really.
were very different. Yeah, he was, like, very into, like, partying and stuff, and I was, like, not. And then,
He liked a couple of nose beers.
yeah. So, like, he definitely did, but he looked so different. Like, he was not dressed like he used to be, like, style-wise. And, so I think that threw me off, kind of.
Yeah.
But, yeah, wild times. Oh, and this other shit happened, but I was too busy playing beer pong. So I, like,
Oh
missed
my
the whole
God.
thing. But there was a massive fist fight. Like, so, one of the girls I was with, she dated a guy for years who beat the shit out of her.
Okay,
and, like,
that's horrible.
almost killed her. Yeah. And, he went to high school with us too, but I never knew him. I don't think he was in our grade. And
Yeah, he got kept back a couple of years on account of being a fucking dumbass.
yeah. So anyway, like, we went to the bar. We got there at like 10 o'clock or something. And literally, I went to the bathroom, and then I came out of the bathroom, and this guy was like, do you want to play beer pong with me? And I was like, sure. And I immediately, like, ditched my friends to go play beer pong.
Of course you did.
So, like, I had no idea what they were doing. And, like, in the middle of beer pong, like, she runs up to me and she's like, Annie, we have to go right now. Like, we have to leave. And I'm such an asshole. I was like, I'm not leaving until beer pong is
I've
over.
had one drink and I'm not leaving until I win.
I was like, yeah, I really wanted to play. And, so she just, like, walked away or whatever. And I didn't really think anything of it. But, like, now I'm like, wow, that's kind of fucked of me to just, like, ignore her. But,
Yeah, how could you do that to your friends, Annie?
yeah. So, anyway, I'm, like, deep diving in beer pong. Also, that building that was on fire, like, that whole thing was happening while I was in beer pong, and people were running outside, and there were all these sirens, and I didn't give a fuck, because all I cared about was beer pong. So, the world kind of been ending around me, and I wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, you were too busy playing beer pong.
Yeah. So then anyway, what had happened during that time that I was playing, which was like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, is her ex showed up at the bar and like tapped her on the shoulder and like said some snarky comment to her.
Yeah.
And she like turned around and saw him and like freaked out. And then like ran inside, which is when she was like, we have to go. And
So her ex, who was a girl or who was a guy?
no, the guy that used to
All right,
beat the
right,
shit
right.
out of her was at the bar. And so then like she was friends with a lot of people at the bar because obviously a lot of us went to school together. And she had told like one of the guys that was there
Yeah.
that her ex had showed up and he like knew that he had beat the shit out of her or whatever.
All right.
So him, that guy, plus the guy that was like hitting on me, plus another guy like went outside and was like threatening him and stuff.
Hello.
And we're like, you have to leave or like we're gonna like beat the shit out of you or whatever. And then because it's like a country bar, like they all were wearing like,
Don't
cowboy
break my heart, my aching breaky heart. I just don't think you'd understand.
And then like the guy that like beat the shit out of her like went and got in his truck. And
Yeah.
like the other two guys like followed him out and it was this big like truck off in the parking lot where they all were like revving their fucking smoky engines and shit.
What is
and
this,
chasing each other around
fucking-
the parking lot.
Fucking Texas.
And then like they like chased him off or something. Followed him to the casino where he like went inside and then they dipped and came back. That must be where he went when I like didn't know where he was. So yeah, and then he came back and asked if I want to hook up and then that obviously didn't happen. But I missed this whole like
Obviously.
everyone was outside like watching them like all like threaten him and then like they all got in their trucks and were like trying to show off. It was like a big thing and I missed it because I was too busy playing beer pong while this is all happening, while the cops are showing up and the fire department is showing up because the building 2 doors down is on fire.
It sounds literally insane.
I literally does. Every time I go there, like the craziest shit happens. Just like the other night when I told you about the old guy,
Yeah.
it was like hitting on me. That was a Tuesday night at 5 p.m.
Yeah, I remember that.
This bar is like a wormhole. It just doesn't exist. And
Yeah, it like exists outside of time. It sounds like
It's
you're
so
like
weird.
sticking your hand inside a corpse and like trying to resurrect it with necromancy. Like it sounds fucked.
now,
It's like you actually
yeah.
sounds fucking hilarious.
It's because I'm walking out. Yeah. That's so funny. But anyway, I'm walking out to my car to go back to the bar right now
Oh my god. Are you
because they're having, this is hilarious. They're having an all-you-can-eat spaghetti buffet. So I bought a ticket
What?
and I'm gonna be eating spaghetti until 2 a.m.
I don't understand like how you fucking find yourself in these situations where like, oh, an old man was hitting on me and being racist, and then there was a fight, and then there was a fire, and now you're eating
Yeah.
spaghetti.
Literally, I'm gonna be eating spaghetti and there's gonna be like a unicorn or like a leprechaun that shows up and I'm just gonna be chilling, sitting there eating spaghetti while playing beer pong.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's so wild.
So I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to jump back on stream and let us know how that goes.